YouTube, Blount County, Alabama, JBrooks. Hey, I hadn't put nothing out in quite a while, so just trying to get my own life back on track a little bit here. But I got to put one out about this guy, Dale Berry. He's the guy that was in the video where his ex-wife was in the car with Leandra Wicks from the Blount County Sheriff's Department, and she backed into the tree. The one that Sherry Cut Burns locked up for 12 days for truancy, something about the kid wasn't going to school or something like that. I think it was extreme. But her ex filed a writ of habeas corpus.
When they arrested Brittany and carried her to jail, and she was sentenced to contempt for 50 days for a violation of Judge King's pickup order. Judge Burns' pickup order. I immediately hired an attorney. The attorney filed a habeas corpus, a writ of habeas corpus. Judge Stephen King with Blount County Circuit Court ruled on it and released Brittany 20 days after she was arrested. The second time, he released her immediately.
And why would you think Judge King would go override Miss Burns like that?
Because he had to have seen where the due process rights were violated.
Am I saying that right? It's something to do where it took Judge Burns out of control over it. Steve King had to take it over, and she was out of jail 30 minutes later. He says it cost him $3,500 to get it done, and then wouldn't nobody touch the case afterwards. Now, this is just what Dale's saying. I mean, I have phone calls and text messages from both these people. This lady was going to be a whistleblower. I mean, she said herself, that her daddy would know that she was doing the right thing. I told these people this was going to happen. Just by that little segment in the video, they went after Dale. I mean, I contacted Pam Casey through a third party, somebody I trust. I have talked to Pam before on the phone on certain things. At this point, I'd be afraid to try to contact her. They could just say anything. I was harassing them. It's no harassment here. I ain't doing this. I'm just going to lay it out there. Alright. So, you just go to YouTube, type in Civil Rights Lawyers Arrested, Blount County, Alabama. Search. Okay. It's just a rough cut. Here they all are if you want to go look at them. Alabama.com's got 112,000 views. Look at mine. Mine's got 6.4K. But look at this one right here. 605,000 views. It's a little over a month ago. You make your own decision. But I mean, they went after this guy. I'm gonna just lay it out and show you what they did to it. Pam assures me there is no collusion between the district attorney's office and the DHR. She assures me. Why, Pam? What about the civil rights attorneys? Ain't that a DHR case, where y'all arrested them civil rights attorneys? Yes, it is. How about Anita Williams? Was she the supervisor? Anita, the one that come in my home. Was she the supervisor over that case? Because here she was. What about Sherry Cut Burns? Was she the judge? Think she was. What about Bonnie Peavy, the kid's attorney? Ain't that Sue Ashworth, the detective on body camera that arrested them civil rights attorney? Ain't that her daughter? I'd say it is. Now, you're telling me there's no collusion here, right? I don't buy your story, Pam. Your credibility's shot. I mean, It just is. I didn't do it. Hiring the youngest attorney in history, and I mean, that was the mistake right there. Whoever hired you, I know how you got in there. It's regardless. Look at it. I try to keep things on the down low. I don't want to expose my county like that. I didn't. But somebody out of that DHR building has gotten my ex to contact me through email. There's no other reason. They know that's the only two people, that little girl. They know that's the only way they could ever. I mean, do you really think I would risk just to see her? You really think I would risk that? My ex knows. She probably told him that that's not going to work. And it's not going to work. Y'all want to circle back around and try to flank me with that kid. That is just, that's not cool. You know, it gives me false hope that I would get to see her. It really put a lug on me. That everybody that I showed that to was like, that's a setup. That's a setup. Well, it ain't no setup no more. I can meet you at any police department in this county, anywhere. Any city police department. And I'd love to see that little girl. But, you know, beyond that, if Sherry Cut Burns puts a restraining order against the DHR, like you should have, ma'am, I gave you every opportunity to do the right thing, and you chose to go down that road you chose to go down. It's ridiculous. The 5-page certified registered mail letter with a USB drive of Libby Nash and that DHR worker spewing that crap. I gave you the opportunity. You're just a rogue judge, ma'am. You know, you just are. I don't care what nobody says. You're a rogue judge. I got some video here. I'll show you what a real judge would do to DHR.
We have an Only on Fox follow-up report for you on a case with Child Protective Services that we've been telling you about. There was an emergency removal of 2 children, which we found occurred under false pretenses.
Now, a hearing over sanctions in that case is currently underway. Our Randy Wallace has been following this. He joins us live tonight with an update from the Juvenile Justice Center downtown. On this exclusive, Randy.
Jonathan, family court judge Mike Snyder was so angry over what CPS did in this case, he ordered the agency to have no contact with the 2 children involved, even though they are in CPS's custody. Child Protective Services took away Michael and Melissa Bright's 2-year-old daughter and 5-month-old son in an emergency removal, claiming the children were in immediate danger.
What they told the court in their affidavit to remove wasn't true, and what they then came into court under their emergency hearing wasn't true.
LeVar Jones, the CPS caseworker behind the questionable emergency removal, did something no CPS caseworker has ever done in a Harris County court before.
He began taking the fifth to refuse answering those questions under oath.
Jones's supervisor, Naisha Edwards, testified the program director was fully aware of what she and caseworker Jones were doing with the case.
When the program director testified, she was very clear that there were things that she didn't know anything about for 8 to 10 days.
During her 6 hours on the stand, Supervisor Edwards couldn't remember much when questioned by the parents' attorneys.
It was in the hundreds of times that the supervisor either refused to answer our questions or said she didn't understand our questions or wasn't able to answer our questions.
But Edwards didn't have that problem when questioned by the assistant county attorney representing CPS. He argued to the judge that CPS doesn't always have to give parents a notice of removal, something the Brights never got.
I am troubled that it was even an issue for the county attorney and also clearly CPS not to know that parents are entitled to notice when their children are being removed.
I think Mr. Jones needs to be fired. I think that Ms. Edwards needs to be fired.
Child Protective Services says it will give us a comment once the judge issues a ruling. That's expected to happen on Wednesday. Judge Schneider could order monetary sanctions against CPS and also order more training for CPS workers. Reporting live from downtown, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
You know, doing something like that, you turned around and gave it to Libby Nash, DHR's attorney, in the parking lot of the courthouse, didn't you? Yes, you did, Judge Burns. Oh, man. I'd hate to know how many families and how much money y'all have made by this little game that I see. It started back in probably 2012, 2013, and they've situated it and put everybody in place, but look at the ripple effects that it's going to have on our county. They probably praise it down there. They want lawyers to be afraid to come here, but the civil rights attorney, his lawyers came. They stood strong. Mr. Glasscox. What was the other one? I don't want to murder his name. That's just my take on it. Sherry Cup Burns had every opportunity to stop this, and she kept on going. There's no way y'all can listen to them recordings. Sherry Cup Burns had them in her hand. She had it. She could have stopped it right there. You're the head of the snake down there, lady. You should have just did the right thing. And when I was standing outside your chambers, if that's what you want to call that hole, and you had, how many caseworkers was in there, ma'am? 4, 5 caseworkers? Did you know they was all kinfolk? I'd say you do and did, and you damn sure know now. What you gonna do for me, Judge? You gonna let them just keep on using my family like that?
A report you will see only here on Fox. We've told you how a judge ordered sanctions against Child Protective Services after a supervisor and caseworker both lied in order to take 2 children from their parents.
And now we've learned CPS has dropped its appeal and will spend around $200,000 tax dollars for its wrongdoing. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us live from Northwest Houston with another exclusive tonight. Randy.
Jonathan, late last year, CPS filed the appeal saying the $127,000 they were ordered to pay Michael and Melissa Bright was too much money. But by filing the appeal and then dismissing it, CPS now has to pay the couple another $50,000 for legal fees.
No other pending thing regarding us and CPS was a relief.
Child Protective Services entered Mike and Melissa Bright's life in September of last year. It was later proven in court that a CPS caseworker and supervisor lied in order to remove the couple's young son and daughter.
They didn't tell the family that they were coming to court to get an order to remove their kids. The court found that had they told them, the court would never have issued an order removing their children.
Come on, bud. The court found CPS also failed to give the Brights a notice of removal or any legal paperwork within the time frame required by law. The siblings were separated while in foster care.
Where the little girl proceeded to be injured not once but twice while she was in foster care.
Now CPS abruptly announces it is no longer appealing the sanctions against them. In a statement, CPS says, with so many other CPS cases pending in Harris County, we have decided to forego an appeal to focus our attention on those children and families and their needs.
Issues no apology, says no remorse, and does not at all address their conduct or what they did to the Bright family.
The caseworker and supervisor who lied in order to remove the Bright's children still work for CPS in the same positions.
The evidence on court records of perjury, of documents being changed just before they went into court. All of that came out of the trial. That's all evidence. And any other civilian goes to jail for those things.
The sanctions also ordered CPS to retrain all investigators and caseworkers on the process of removing children from their parents. Reporting live from Northwest Houston, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Because I can downright, you want to do some circle back and around and do some flanking? I can surely do that. How about Alicia Talbert Blackman, supervisor down there, Ken Nita Williams, Hepstenstall, how about Chrissy Blackman? All these people's name was on my paperwork, guys. Corrupt family. We keep going. About shot in the back, Denise Lopez Blackman. See how I can circle back around? I can keep going. I can just keep right on trucking. I just don't see where it's helping our county. Really don't. This video is supposed to be about Dale Berry, and it's an educational video. Take it for what it is. You get yourself in this situation, good luck. I ain't putting nobody else out. This is what happens. They went after these people because they was speaking to me. Ain't nothing I can do to protect you from these people when they come after you. Is that right, Pam? I'm JBrooks, out..com. Watch the little spiel. I'm going to hash it up. It's going to be chopped up. 9 minutes in already. See you here in a minute.
Hey, Donna Southern, please. Okay. This is Donna. Miss Southern. Yes. Hi, this is Dale Berry, Braden Berry's dad. Yes, sir. I just got a quick question. Is your maiden name Austin? Wow. I'm just curious. My wife went to Gardendale High School also. We're just curious if you're Donna Austin. I'm not from Gardendale. You're not? Yes, sir. But is your maiden name Donna Austin? Yes, but there are two. Oh, okay, thank you.
YouTube, Blount County, Alabama. JBrooks, fightdhr.com. Hey, down here at the Sheriff's Department, I always try to make some fun out of my videos. I don't like to just be gloom and doom through all my videos. It's just the way it is. I try to make them fun. This ain't gonna be one I can do that with. It just ain't. Pam Casey is after it again. Our district attorney, Pamela Casey Austin. Yeah, she's got Dale Berry locked up in this jail. Now, Dale is the guy that's in the video where I exposed the judges. You know, he wasn't in the car with the Leandra, the Blount County Sheriff's deputy that backed into the tree. His wife was. She's the one telling the story. She's the one that got locked up in this jail by Sherry Cutt Burns, our judge, over truancy. Something just crazy. I think that's what it was over. But Dale spent $3,500 to get her out of jail. She spent 12 days in jail. If you watch the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. This woman was coming out. She was coming out about stuff going on within this jail. She was coming out about Burns. She's coming out about DHR. I have her on recording. Me telling her that they're probably going to come after you. She didn't care. She said that her daddy would know, her daddy would tell her she's doing the right thing, is what her daddy would think. Something along them lines. Right, Pam? Well, Pam is kin to Donna Southern Austin, the DHR supervisor. I think she's married into it. I'm almost 100%. It don't really matter. They got the same last name. Now, Austin. I think it's a personal vendetta against Dale. Look at it. Dale was the man that got his wife out of jail. Dale's the man that was going to be filing lawsuits over Leandra hitting the tree. Dale was going to be the man filing lawsuits against Burns. Take Dale out of that picture, and you seal it. You ain't got to worry about the sheriff's department. You don't have to worry about the city police department. The city even got drug into this. It's just nonsense. It's crazy. And I have text messages from this woman. She knows what old Judge King is going to do 10 days before he does. They're not even married. And Mr. King gave her Dale's truck. I'm not going to get into all that. I didn't even want to say Judge King's name in this video. I'm going to chime in right here. I didn't want to bring in Judge King. I mean, I went out of my way to not speak of Mr. King. He was the best judge we had. Here's the problem I have. Is when I contacted Pam through third party, she sent me a copy of where it was Judge Burns that filed felony stalking. I believe that's what it was. I mean, I had called the magistrate, and there wasn't a judge's name on that. It was 4 months, 5 months. It was a while. It was like since February. And I checked on it in June, I do believe it was. I got the phone call. But I heard that Steve King was not going to have no involvement in the lawsuit, or not the lawsuit, but the case with the DHR attorneys that were arrested. You know, the original case. God almighty. I feel sorry for that guy. He don't stand a chance. But Judge King ain't going to be a part of that. He's had too much involvement, is what I heard. Hey, I could be wrong. That's just what I heard. Well, you don't think you've had too much involvement with Dale here, sir? I mean, you divorced him, right? You divorced him. Then you had to do a writ of habeas corpus that he had to pay a lawyer $3,500 to get done, to get her out of jail. They're not even married. She's in the cop car with Leandra Wicks that backs into a tree, denies her medical. You don't think that's going to be an issue, Mr. King? Wasn't she on a no bond? Wasn't she on a no bond list? I think she was. Did you give her Dale's truck? Because she says you was in these text messages. Did you give her Dale's truck? Even though you didn't know at the time that they were divorced. I get that. But when you told her that she had to give the truck back, and Dale's out in the parking lot looking at his truck that you gave her, that she had for 2 weeks. And when you told her to give it back, she just ran with it. She had it for another 2 weeks. Put old Dale on a chase about for it. Got herself thrown in jail over it. Sure did. But when Dale was out there in the parking lot looking at it, would you get mad because of the situation? Your name wasn't even on it, sir. Pam sent me a copy of it after the fact, though. I done called the magistrate, and she couldn't give me a judge's name on that, sir. Pam asked if I knew how the warrant process. I sure do. I know how that warrant process works. Remember Mr. Hicks? Yeah, I had to go through it then. I want to address the whole Austin thing, too. I'm saying that in the video, but it's just because for some reason it means a lot to everybody else. I don't really see where it helps our county. It's rough. It just adds to it. Y'all heard the phone call. Y'all know that was her. You could hear it, the wind get sucked out of her. Oh, Dale. That was the sound of Dale digging his own grave by doing that. He should have hung on to it, or I don't know. I handed it to Dale. That's why all you folks want to be a part of this, and it's not what it seems. Being the old whistleblower, it's not what it seems. You don't want no part of it, especially if you got other family that they can go after. I've just separated myself. I situated myself to where I could do this. It's the right thing to do. Back to Mr. King. So you got too much involvement in the civil rights attorneys, but you feel like you're okay to go ahead and move forward with Dale. I think it was a pretty bad decision myself. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, you gave her his truck. He's out in the parking lot after you had to give it back to him, told her to give it back. You file a felony stalking, sir? I'm not buying that. I just think I'm not going to throw him under the bus totally yet, because I'm not buying that. I almost feel like once I made the phone call, something got thrown out in front of him. That's just the way I feel about it, and I'm allowed to do that. But I figured I'd chime in right there, and just is what it is. Got to catch up. Continue on.
Thank you for calling the Blount County Courthouse. The directory, press pound. Otherwise, please listen carefully as our menu options have changed.
Clerk's office, may I help you?
How you doing today, ma'am?
Fine.
Hey, good. Hey, I was going to check on see what judge had signed off on a warrant on Dale Berry, and it was some kind of felony stalking, I think is what he said it was.
In February, a domestic violence assault. Okay.
What day in February, Miss Magistrate?
The day that he was arrested, we don't have information what the offense date is, was February the 21st.
The 21st is when it was filed?
When he was arrested.
Okay. February 21st is when he was arrested?
Mm-hmm.
Then, so they had him and then they served a warrant on him, or they bonded out and then put a warrant on him? I'm just trying to figure out how that worked.
Well, what happens is whenever a person is arrested, they're given a court date, whether they're in jail or whether they make bond. And if they make bond, they get a court date on that bond, and then they're supposed to come to court on that day.
Oh, okay.
If they don't come to court, then the judge issues what we call an alias writ on it if you don't come to court when you're supposed to.
Well, if he didn't comply, He is, what's the judge's, who signed that warrant?
Well, I don't know who signed the warrant. Let's see. I don't know who come after the warrant. I don't see that on the computer here. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Because once he found out that he was the one that divorced him, I could understand. He does a lot of divorces. He ain't going to remember them all. But he tried to fix what he had done. Well, Dale goes out and looking at his truck. Judge King tells her she's got to get with his lawyer and give the truck back. Dale's out looking at his truck. It's by the police department downtown. Well, she comes out. Well, he's honkered down over there trying to hide from her. It's not against the law. He can do that. He was looking at his truck. He didn't speak to her. From what I gathered from several different sources, he didn't even talk to her. Well, Pam throws a felony stalking on him because she had filed PFAs. DHR has coached her. This is nothing but DHR controlling this. Pamela Casey's right in the middle of it. She's trying to seal the deal all the way around with Dale Berry. She knows, Dale Berry, he don't hold nothing back. It's his downfall. He's got a bad downfall about that. He gets anything he posted on Facebook. And he could have held on to it, but he didn't. It don't matter. There's an innocent man in this jail right here. and Pamela Casey, our district attorney, the same one that did the same shenanigans to the lawyers. I can name several names off of people they're scared of that lady. I don't blame them. I'd be scared of her too if I was them. I'm just too damn dumb, I guess, to be scared of her. I figure for $150,000 a year, she ought to be doing her job, locking up innocent people, finagling and fixing this whole situation just by taking the woman. That's what they done. But I have all the text messages of this lady. She's telling me stuff that Dale don't even know. Hair follicle test. She's telling me that Dale Berry's a meth head. Well, I asked Dale on the phone, so when was the last time you sucked that pipe, Dale? He said 2002, 2003. Then I said, how about the hair follicle test? She had told me that. She goes, he knows he's got a drug test coming, but he don't know it's a hair follicle. So I just asked him. And he said, I passed it with flying colors. He goes, you want a copy of it? I said, yeah, you got a copy of it? Bam, that quick. Sent to me. He did pass. Hair follicle, there ain't no felon though, or going around no hair follicle test. So lie there, right? This woman has lied she drove the city of police saying that she was married to Dale. And her name was on the title of that truck. Just lied. She lied to Judge King or whoever she got to go up in there. Dale said it was a caseworker that went up in there with her to file the PFAs on Dale. 10 days after she did that video. And I can see it in the text messages. I can see they're going after Dale. Dale's not a sweet guy. He ain't. But you can't eat him just because you don't like him. Just because he's a pretty smart man. I'm not going to pat him on the back because he'll pat himself on the back. He's good at that. But he's up in that jail right now. I bet he ain't patting nothing on the back. Yeah, I can get funny here, but I said I was going to keep this one serious. Now, I showed up down here. I wanted to get some shots of the cop cars going in and out. Dale's in there. I feel like this is a good place to come to. Dale's in there. Y'all just need to understand, you ever get caught up in this situation with all these women, from the district attorney's office down to the DHR, you're just screwed. How you gonna beat it? Dale exposed them right and left, and they went after him. I sure hope the sheriff's department ain't got nothing to do with that. I just hope this don't come back to the sheriff's department over Leandra Wicks backing into that tree. That probably would have never even happened. So I think it's a vendetta where Dale exposed Donna Southern Austin. I'm saying it's her sister-in-law. That's what I'm saying. I can keep going with these names. I can keep on going. Anyways, I told Dale that this was going to happen. 10 days later, they was already putting it in effect. They were talking to her on the side. They had Dale doing a visitation with his son while they were at his house. His wife had called, and the man that Dale owed $3,500 on an 18-wheeler that, I mean, fancy, big, huge sleeper. I mean, it was a nice truck. $3,500. Well, the man comes and gets the truck, right? They're out there dragging her Cadillac, out of the back of his house. Rips down his fence.
I'm gonna fast forward it right here to show you. Then I'm gonna go outside and take pictures of all of this.
A Blount County sheriff was out there watching them do it. Dale's visiting with his son. They know right where he's at. They have no worries about Dale. See how, that's how sneaky they are. Anyways, the man gets the truck, gets his 18-wheeler to where he's going. He's looking around in the truck. He sees where Dale just spent $1,500 on the front end of that truck. Put new kingpins, tires, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Dale was telling me. She was telling him that Dale was scrapping it. He was selling parts and scrapping the truck. This is all from Dale. I have all the phone calls from Dale. Dale's just gonna have to suck it up in there. And we're gonna use this as a learning and teaching to the young guys out there, even the old guy, male in general. All right, so we're at the cemetery, right? Started raining on us on the way over here. We come on, we got a blue sky circle around us right now. Really cool things off. I'm gonna end this video here. It's just a wreck, but we got to start somewhere. Might as well be there. A couple things I want to go back on, where I said that Pam had sent me a copy of the warrant. I said Burns instead of King. It's King. I really didn't even look at it. She's my district attorney. I believe her. She sent me a copy of it. What else? Where I said Dale's ex had a no bond. She was on a no warrant list. She couldn't file no warrants. That's what Dale said. Let me tell you what, if Dale made all this stuff up, man, he's amazing. He's really amazing. What else was it? Judge King. That's just going to be what it's going to be. We'll just see how that plays out with Mr. King. And Judge Burns can, I'm putting the ball back in her hands again. After I done it once, doing it again. I just need a restraining order against DHR, man. You know what I mean? Just put it in my mailbox. I don't need nothing else. If I get to see the girl again, so be it. If I don't, it is what it is. And if my little girl, if she thinks I don't love her, it's just not the case. It's not the case at all that I wouldn't do anything to see her. I won't go to jail, and I won't put myself in a situation that could happen. These people are banking on it. They were banking on that. It was a good call to do that. It really was. But now it's back over on y'all. I called you bluff. See what you do now, Judge Burns. You can imagine how rough I can really get. I'm done tired of throwing people under the bus. I'm trying to get to the meat of the situation. I'm trying to help this county. If you don't want to help me help it, well then just stay out of my way. And I'll work around you as quickly as possible. Look, I want to shout out to some thug cops. Shane Best. He's a Blunsville police officer. Yeah, his name's Shane Best. He's a real sweet guy from what I hear him. That's what's got me here. This boy here, that's what's got me here. Oh, Shane Best. Shane Best and Tony Daughter, they good buds. They are. More come with that here soon. I left my notebook at the house. I had my 5 closing arguments here. I left it. Can't believe it. Matt Cone, St. Clair County Sheriff, narcotics agent. Yo, Old Matt's a real sweetie. Got himself involved, pulled his sheriff's department involved. He's an attorney. Head of narcotics over there. That could either be good or bad. One of the two. From what I'm seeing, it's bad. Caleb Weiss. How you doing, buddy? Ain't your buddy, am I? Caleb Weiss. He's 21, 22. City police officer out of Steele. St. Clair County. He's a little rookie. And a tough cookie. How you doing, Caleb? The anticipation of the humiliation is worse than the humiliation itself, ain't it? Alright, so I just wanted to name out them few names right there. What about James Chapman? How you doing, Mr. Chapman? Remember me, sir? Anybody that don't know who he is now Hayden, Alabama's chief of police. He worked at the Aniana for 30 years plus. City of Aniana. He provided security for DHR all them years. He knew it was going on. How you doing, Mr. Chapman? Remember me? I'd say you do. He used his gun and his badge in that DHR building. Intimidation. You know, like you fight for your family. I'll put a bullet in you, big ass fat boy. I remember you, sir. Who hired you over there? Who hired you in Hayden? That's a bad choice right there. I can tell you right now. It is what it is. He has no expectation of privacy either. He's chief of police. I done been over there farting around. There'll be more to come about old Mr. Chapman. I don't know who hired him. He's the best choice we got. I think not. I can keep going here, but we had to have somewhere to start. And this video is going to be hashed out. I mean, drink some coffee. Watch it in sections. Just keep up with what's going on. I ain't never asked for nobody to YouTube subscribe or nothing like that. And you're welcome to. And you're welcome to share, you know, if you want to. I'm not out to just spread this all over the country. I'm looking out for my county. But y'all do what you want to do. Facebook, I hate Facebook. Don't post your story up on Facebook of something you got going on with these people. And they watching that. That's why I quit accepting friends requests 2 years ago. YouTube is a different breed than Facebook. It just is. They're all about your constitutional rights. Facebook isn't. But you don't want to go to posting your story on YouTube either. If you want to contact me or send something to me, fightdhr@gmail.com. That's what that email's for. It's protected. Or go to the comment section on FightDHR and send it through there, and it'll come through Aurora. It'll pass through 2 or 3 servers to get to me. Don't just post it up on the... Don't do it, man. I can't protect you. Look at Dale. I can't protect you. Just don't do it. If you got some good information, though, send it to me. Anything on Joshua Blake Wood here that I don't already have, I could use. I've met a lot of his friends at the river, and at Morris Mills, Swan Bridge, Low Water. Seems like he was a good boy. Whole videos just come out about him. Got a lot of stuff on him. Anything else would help me. I can tell you nobody likes Shane best. And he worked for Cleveland, went back to Blancsville. He was working for Blancsville, went to Cleveland, back to Blancsville. Lives, what, Shane? Mile from my house? Yeah. Anyways, don't post nothing up on Facebook or YouTube like, don't tell your story, man. Just don't do it like that. Give it to me, let me tell it. I can doctor it up, protect you somewhat. Dale wouldn't listen to me. And that situation is what it is. I can't go down there and help Dale at this point. I'm helping him by doing this. I'm helping the county. Man, our young folks, our men, we gotta stand up. We gotta take back something here. Something ain't right. That's just my take on it. Alright, so that's my ramble. I guess I'm out of here. Judge King, or see, did it again. Judge Burns. Yeah, I'm gonna need a restraining order against DHR, man, so I can see my little girl. Okay. Putting it right back in your hands again. Ain't that sweet of me? I'm such a sweet guy. Don't make me be something I ain't, okay? Because we all know I can get down and dirty, need be. Shouldn't have circled back around to my family like that. I've never had no demands of nothing. I'm not demanding a restraining order. Giving you the opportunity to do the right thing. Do or don't. Do or don't. I've been settled down. I've been settled for the last 6 months. I say settled. I ain't been just throwing videos of not too smart of people out just to make a name for myself. I have a name. It's called JBrooks. Shorten that for you, JBrooks. out..com. See y'all soon on the next one. If you see videos just popping out and you get a chance to watch them, watch them. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. Problem is, a lot of people don't even know what YouTube is in Blount County. A lot of people probably don't even have internet. Cell phone reception ain't all that spectacular out here. So I'm just hitting what I can hit. At Palisades Park's a gold mine. Don't cost nothing for my trucks to sit out there and pick up 100 people a week going to that page. See y'all on the next one.